Warsh considers reducing frequency of Fed policy meetings. That's the headline from the New York Times, and it signals a potential shakeup at the Federal Reserve that hasn't been seen in decades. Kevin M. Warsh, who took over as chairman in May, is weighing a cut to the number of regularly scheduled meetings where the Fed's policy committee votes on interest rates. Right now the committee meets 8 times a year. Warsh raised the idea at this week's gathering, and sources say a revised schedule could be decided before the next meeting in mid-September, even if the changes wouldn't take effect until later. The Fed itself declined to comment. If implemented, reducing the meeting cadence would be the most consequential change of Warsh's tenure so far. It would break from decades of precedent, reshaping how the central bank steers the economy and potentially making it less responsive to shifts in inflation and the labor market. Fewer meetings also mean less information flowing to Wall Street and the public about the Fed's thinking on the path for rates, reversing a long-term trend toward greater transparency. That fits a broader pattern emerging early in Warsh's chairmanship. He has dramatically shortened the policy statements released after each meeting and has provided far less detail about his view of the economy and the appropriate direction for rates. He has also floated the idea of scaling back the post-meeting news conferences that have been standard practice since January 2019. Since becoming chairman, Warsh has cast himself as a reformer, campaigning on what he calls regime change. So far that has materialized as 5 task forces tackling issues ranging from communication strategy to the data sources the Fed prioritizes. At this week's meeting, Warsh discussed the legal authorities governing the minimum number of meetings the Fed must hold each year and the timeline for any change. He asked officials to send him their thoughts privately rather than holding a full discussion of the calendar at the gathering. The article notes that the Fed has already, but the text cuts off there. Still, the implications are clear. A leaner meeting schedule could fundamentally alter the rhythm of monetary policy and the public's window into it. That's the story for now. Thanks for listening, and we'll keep you posted on any developments.